Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I randomly decided to cut one of my locks off, and I'm going to explain to you all why I cut this lock off as you watch me cut this lock off. So basically, this lock has been giving me the blues, honestly, since the beginning of my lock journey. This lock started off very thin compared to most of the locks in my head, especially compared to the other ones that are along my edges. So when I noticed that it seemed to be thinner than the rest of them, I tried using Jamaican black castor oil to thicken up my lock. And honestly, it worked because as you can see in this video, the root of this lock is way thicker than the end of this lock. And previously, I tried combining it with another lock, and probably wasn't the best lock to combine it with because it's separated from the other lock. So I just decided not to worry about combining it with another lock and just see how it continued to progress as my lock journey continued. And as y'all see, it did thicken up, which is what I wanted, but the end of it remained thin. So really wasn't much I could do. I briefly entertained the thought of cutting the lock and then reattaching the part of it that did seem to be a little bit thicker, but then I was like, nah, that's really not gonna work. I should just go ahead and just cut my loss here because it's in a place in my head too where it's not really that noticeable. And with the way that it was previously, this lock was way longer than the rest of my other locks. Being that it was longer than the rest of them, it just really stuck out and it didn't look pleasant to me. And I really noticed it after my last retwist. I'm like, this lock is just not looking right. It's taking away from the overall look of my locks, and I'm sick of it. And I feel like if you're at a point with a certain lock and it's just really giving you the blues and you really just don't like it, what's the harm in cutting it? Because it's here, it's gonna grow back, you're fine. So it's time. And I honestly hate that I waited so long to do this because this lock really just annoyed me for the longest. So after I cut this lock, I did do like a little retwist on it, and then I tried to crochet the loose hairs just to, kind of give us like a more uniform look. And also this lock just really stuck out a lot. Like some of my locks, well, the majority of my locks now, they usually lay pretty flat, but this lock was just sticking out doing its own thing. And to speak a little bit on maintaining locks, you definitely have a few options. You could always combine the lock, or you could just leave it alone and see how it continues to grow. And I've honestly tried all three methods, and you just really have to decide what works best for your hair. I would avoid combining locks if the base of the lock is thinning, because if that lock continues to grow, the base is just going to continue to weaken and the lock's going to eventually break off. So really no point in doing that. But I would try using Jamaican black castor oil to see if that helps before you do all that, because it definitely helped me as far as getting my locks to be a little bit thicker. And then cutting, I don't think there's anything wrong with cutting off little thin ends like I did here with this lock, because you're gonna feel much better afterward. And in the long run, I feel like your lock is gonna look much better if you don't have like thin spots in your locks. That's just my opinion on it, because I'm not a professional or anything. This is based on my own experience with my locks. So take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt and just figure out what works best for you. I briefly considered reattaching the part I had just cut off or attaching a lock that I had previously cut off, but decided against it. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And if you did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel because I post loc updates and loc videos in general quite often. And be sure to also check out my loc playlist if you like these types of videos. But I will see y'all next week. Bye.